Bismillah.
Bence baş. Tamam, iyi ekleyin gidelim.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Malika Kamal. I'm going to say Surah Al-Qiyamah from Ayat 20 to Ayat 36. Assalamualaikum. My name is Rohi. I'm going to be saying the translation from Surah Al-Qiyamah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كلا بل تحبون العاجلة وتذرون الآخرة وجوه يومئذ ناظرة إلى ربها ناظرة ووجوه يومئذ باسرة تظن أن يفعل بها فاقرة كلا إذا بلغت التراقي وقيل من راق وظن أنه الفراق والتفت الساق بالساق إلى ربك يومئذ المساق فلا صدق ولا صلى ولكن كذب وتولى ثم ذهب إلى أهله يتمطى أولى لك فأولى ثم أولى لك فأولى أيحسب الإنسان أن يترك سدى صدق الله العظيم. Not as you think, human will not be resurrected and dispensed for your deeds, but you men love the present life of this world and neglect the hereafter. Some face to that day shall be shining and radiant, looking at their Lord, Allah. And some face to that day will be dark, gloomy, frowning, and sad, thinking that some calamity is about to overwhelm them. Nay, when the soul reaches to the collarbone up to the throat, and it will be said, who can turn him and save him from death? And he, the dying person, will conclude that it was the time of departing death. And the leg will be joined with the other leg, traveling. The drive will be on that day to your Lord, Allah. So he, the disbeliever, neither believe in this Quran, in the message of Muhammad nor pray. But on the contrary, he belied this Quran and the message of Muhammad and turned away. Then he walked in full pride to his family and married himself. Woe to you, O man disbeliever, and then again woe to you. Again, woe to you, O man disbeliever, and then again woe to you. This man thing, then you will be left, neglected without being punished, or rewarded for the obligatory duties enjoined by his Lord, Allah, upon him.
Jazakallah. Thank you very much. That was excellent. Take this time to welcome all of you to the ICOB Academy Annual Fundraiser. Thank you for coming. And I'll be starting our program. I'd like to get started by introducing a very important guest here today. Our Republican Senator, State Senator, Old Bridge, Dr. Samuel Thompson. Just a few words about Dr. Thompson. He is a PhD in chemistry. He served in the United States Armed Forces from 1955 to 1957. He's been a state senator since 2012. His office is right here at Old Bridge. And he has taken strong stances and recognized by the Indo-American community, by the Asian American community, and he's especially proud of his work with the family program and the kids program in New Jersey. So for your service to our country and for your service to our community, Dr. Thompson, I'd like you to be recognized up here on the stage. You can say a few words after you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to join with you this evening for the Islamic Center of Old Bridge's Academy fundraiser. I want to commend each and every one of you for coming out for this important occasion. The Academy is, of course, is so important to your community, helping to instill into your children the values and traditions that you've grown up with, teaching them those things that are so important. And of course, it very much needs your support, your contribution. You need to be there for them. But it has been serving you for a number of years. They're hoping to expand their programs, and we're just continue to support. I'm sure it will do a great job for you and your children. I mean, I can see what a great job it's doing right here at this present time. As I said, my offices are right over on 516 down in Browntown, and we're there to serve you. Anytime that we can be of help to you with anything. A lot of people have problems with their health care problem, for example, the prescription plans and so on. Come by our office, we'll be glad to have you come by. Anything we do to help you at any time, don't hesitate. And thank you again for ladies and gentlemen.
My name is Arsul Sheikh, and I will be reciting Surah Mulk.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Malik Suleiman, and I will be reading the benefits of Surah Mulk.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. الذي خلق 7 سماوات طباقا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت فارجع البصر هل ترى من فطور ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير. ولقد زينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح وجعلناها رجوما للشياطين واعتدنا لكم عذاب السعير. وللذين كفروا بربهم عذاب جهنم وبئس المصير. إذا ألقوا فيها سمعوا لها شهيقا وهي تفور تكاد تميز من الغيظ. كلما ألقي فيها فوج سألهم خزنتها فلم يأتكم نذير. قالوا بلى قد جاءنا نذير فكذبنا وقلنا ما نزل الله من شيء إن أنتم إلا في ضلال كبير. فاعترفوا بذنبهم فسحقا لأصحاب السعير. إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير. صدق الله العظيم.
السلام عليكم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. ربي زدني علما. Today I would like to share the benefits of Surah Al-Mulk. Jabir radiallahu anhu said that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did not sleep until he read Surah Al-Mulk. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu says that one of the companions of the Prophet Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam set up a tent over a grave without knowing it was a grave. And then suddenly he heard someone reciting Surah Al-Mulk. He went to the Prophet and said, "O Rasulullah, I set up my tent over a grave, not knowing it was a grave." Suddenly I heard someone saying Surah Al-Mulk up to its end. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "It's the protector, it's the defender, which safeguards him from the punishment." Abdullah ibn Mas'ud says that this surah prevents the torments of the grave. It was also called Surah Al-Mulk in the Torah. He who recites it at night will receive a tremendous reward. Inshallah, all of us from now on will recite Surah Al-Mulk every day to be defended, protected, and safeguarded from the punishment of the grave. Jazakallahu khairan.
MashaAllah, that was very, very nice. Thank you both. So, inshallah, we'll move on to the next portion of the program. And what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about ICOB itself. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, wa sallam wa sallam ala Rasulil Kareem. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. So, just say a few words about it. So first, by way of introduction, my name is Usman Wahid. I'm the father of two kids who go to ICOB Academy. I'm a PTA member. I'm a local surgeon. And what I found out about this ICOB Academy is that it's a very special place. So what I'd like to do tonight is to try to convey some of that to you, so that we all realize that this project, this place, this community is very special, and we're all very privileged to be a part of that. And I feel that way, and I hope that by the end of tonight, all of you guys will feel the same way. So before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about the place itself. Just a few facts about the ICOB Academy. It was established in 2008 in the same place. We have a 6,000 square foot building designed specifically for pre-K and elementary school. So what does that mean? What that means is that the school itself is not a random collection of buildings that someone decided to call a school. This is an idea. This is a vision that was had by the Board of Trustees. And it was this vision and their commitment that sort of started all this up. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, we were able to get the right people in the right places to start this program, to start this idea of having an Islamic school right here next to the masjid in this community. Now, in 2013, 2014, we're looking to have a full pre-K through 5th grade assembly of classes, and throughout this entire period, the principal has been Fatima Masood. MashaAllah, she's done a wonderful, wonderful job. And it's through her leadership. It's through her leadership and it's an inspiration to guide the community that we've been able to get to where we are. So these two factors have been very, very important. If you look in the development of the school and you look in the development of how things have progressed, the fact that we have a stable board and we have a principal who is aligned with the vision, and she communicates that to the staff and to the teachers and to the students that are here, that makes a big difference. That makes a big difference. And part of that is maintaining this cadre of teachers that we have. Now, we have certified teachers for every class. This sounds like it's a no-brainer that everyone should have certified teachers. Of course, they're certified. This is, if I tell you that the majority of Islamic schools in the country do not have certified teachers in every class, that may come as a surprise to you. This is one of the only schools in the area and certainly in the country that has certified teachers in every single class. And that means that these teachers that are now teaching your kids, that are teaching the kids here, the Muslims, that have taken the time or taken the opportunity to not to step away from teaching John and Jack and Richard and Steve and start teaching Amina and Fatima and Ahmed and Jabril, all these people that are here at this school. So this is a big deal. It's a big deal to have certified teachers in every single class. In addition, we have an active Parent-Teachers Association. In fact, this is one of the only places that I've seen where the teachers, the parents, there's a board member, there's an administration member in every single PTA meeting. So every month there's an opportunity for parents whose kids go to the school to come and talk to the teacher directly, talk to the administration directly, and then talk to the board directly. There's always somebody there. The avenues of communication are open, and this Parent-Teacher Association works actively to improve the school. They work actively to try to make amends for anything that's been wrong. So there's always a constant update, there's constant communication between all these different levels. And this is very, very essential for the life of the school. And finally, I'd like to comment on an outstanding Arabic and Quran program. All of you here had an opportunity to see the children and what they've been working on. And if I tell you that the kids that came up here, this was not very challenging for them. MashaAllah, they have so much, they've accumulated so much knowledge of the Quran and so much understanding of what they're reading through the work of the Quran and Arabic teachers here, that this was, I would say that there's kids in the school, MashaAllah, who can recite many longer verses and more difficult verses, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So these kids did a wonderful job, but this is just a small sample of what they can do and what the school has done, MashaAllah. So this is just a little something about the ICOB Academy. I wanted you guys to get an idea of what kind of place it is. Let's move forward and talk a little bit about what our ideas are going to 2014. Right now, our enrollment is around 95 students, but if you look back in 2008 when we started with 34. And every single year we've grown. And next year we're looking at approximately 120 to 130 students. So the community is finally sort of picking up on the idea and being acknowledged for what we've been doing, and people are starting to want to come to ICOB in bigger numbers. This is just a sample. I know it's not anything that you guys are going to be able to recognize, but the only thing I want to point out is that there is an expansion project going on. So all of these students that are coming, MashaAllah, what that's doing for us is it's increasing our numbers. It's also increasing our need for resources. So what we have to do now is we have to expand the budget and expand our school facilities. We've already started doing that, but tonight, what I'd like to do is take that another step. These are some of the pictures of what we've already done. Here's a picture of some of the bathroom. The next picture is the hallway. The next picture is, again, another one of the preschool bathrooms. These bathrooms are made specifically for some of our younger students who can't use the regular bathrooms. These are made for them. And we've been able to do that, again, just to be very specific about the needs of our younger students. So, all these things and these adjustments and these kinds of additions are going to cost some money. So this next slide is basically telling us where we're at and where we want to go tonight. From what we have here, this is our income and our expenses. So right here is what the school is paying out every year. And over there, 225 is what we're bringing in every year. So you can see there's a little bit of a difference. And inshallah tonight, what I want to do is I want to be able to bridge that gap. So the good news is we can bridge that gap. Bad news is all the money's out there in your pockets. So tonight, let's bridge that gap. Let's change the bad news to the good news, inshallah, and let's make it happen. We start tonight by introducing Brother Rabi Qadri. He's here joining us from Chicago. Just a small introduction. If you all flip over your program, in the back of your program is a little bit about him. He's the principal of MCC, Muslim Community Center, which mashallah is a very successful school in Chicago area. over 500 students with a long waiting list and a long history. And what we're going to talk about tonight is the future of Islamic school kids. And mashallah, mashallah, his school has produced so many of these very, very successful kids, a very, very successful community. So this is something that I foresee for our community as well. So we're inviting him. So I'd like everyone to welcome him to New Jersey. And without any further ado,
السلام عليكم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. Inshallah, first and foremost, it's a pleasure to come to New Jersey. It's my first time coming into the state of New Jersey, so alhamdulillah, it's a blessing. But there's a connection because the principal knew me when I was a little baby, like a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old. I haven't seen her for like maybe 15, 16 years. And then I met another brother who I just met after like 10, 12 years. We knew each other, we were teenagers. So mashallah, it's a blessing and a small world. So inshallah ta'ala, I want to get right to the program. So I'm going to kind of get on to the first slide. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we talk about the value of Islamic education and why this is important and what the future for Islamic education is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us in the Quran, مَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, that I created jinn and man for the purpose of worship. But what's beauty about the deen is that worship in Islam is not just a Friday, it's not just salah, but the way of life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we look at the deen, it's not about just the ibadat, but also we'll be questioned by getting good deeds, but also questioned where we can get bad deeds for if we don't deal with the mu'amalat, dealing with others. So when we do and educate our kids, it's not just about information, but it's a transformation of the tarbiyah of the individual. Next slide. So one of the first books we kind of wrote is called Parenting Who Said It Was Easy. Because the first thing that all of us, we have to clear in our heads, everywhere, Allah's blessed me an opportunity to at least visit about 55 Islamic schools in the United States and maybe another 20, 30 schools overseas. And just last month I was in Singapore. But this is one universal thing when I deal with parents, when I talk to parents, I see this all the time. So the first chapter of our book called Parenting Who Said It Was Easy, we have the first chapter called the Mashallah Baby. Because one of the first things for every parent is that when they think of their child, the Mashallah, Ma Habibti. For all the Indo-Pak parents, my Nagu, Mini John, right? So you have that one that this is my child. And why I bring this up? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Surah Al-Anfal reminds us that our progeny will be a test. That our kids will be a test. And how we raise them is very important. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not give a test without even first testing the most beloved of people, which are the prophets. These are people who Allah loves. But Allah gives us the examples that even my beloved of the beloved individuals were tested. So we'll go to Prophet Adam alayhi salam. Now let's take an example from Prophet Adam alayhi salam. Now this is before TV, videos, and all this. You have one brother jealous of another brother to a point he kills him. Right? Here's a prophet of Allah, and one of his sons does something that's very unacceptable. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us another example, Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. Here for not for 10 years, O son, come to the deen. Not for 20 years, O son and child, come to the deen. Oh, not for 30 years, not for 70 years, not for 100 years, not even for 200 years, not for 350 years, not even for 585 years, not for 750 years. For 950 years, he has told people to come to the deen. And what does his own child say? Oh, Father, I will go to the top of the mountain and I'll be fine. And even with that, he still prays for his sons and Ya Allah, and Allah says he's not one of us. So now he gives you an example. So when we deal with our kids, and I told my child one time, he doesn't listen to me. I sent him to an Islamic school for 5 months, and I don't see the great transformation. What's wrong with this Islamic school? Because my child's a mashallah baby. Nothing could go wrong. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us, but you might say, well, because I come from a beautiful tribe. I come from the great, in this country, from Palestine. I come from this tribe, and mashallah tribe. I come from Pakistan, and from Punjab, Lahore, and there's no possible we can do anything wrong. I come from India, whatever country you think you come from, and you think our tribe and tradition is so great. Here's your way you're going to get humbled. Allah gives us an example of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. But let me tell you about Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, which all of you know. His grandfather was a prophet. His father was a prophet. Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, which is Joseph, was a prophet. Now, what happens here? You have several brothers who are jealous of that brother. So you know what? I think our father loves him more than me. What should we do? Should we kill him? No. We'll throw him in the well and see what happens. Right? Now you think, now this is a prophet of Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests us. But now even the prophet gives us another example. So now you have an example of where the child practices the deen, and Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam says, I want to practice deen. The father says, how can you go against our forefathers? So you have that. So when teachers, you're like, why is this child? Oh my God, I have to do Abdullah in our class, ya Allah. Right? But sometimes you have different situations where they're out of parent. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us an example. The reason why I'm doing this because we're going to talk about a few things of why Islamic schools are so important. I want you to understand if challenges could happen to prophets, don't think our child, no, my child. Because I deal with this all day. One of the books we wrote called War Within Our Hearts. Alhamdulillah, you know, I get emails all the time from kids, issues, and so on and so problems, in which I'm going to go at the next slide. Sorry. But here's an example. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so all of us, oh, here it goes. It's all about religion. See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, think about from all the du'as. There are many du'as that we all know. Going to the bathroom, Allahumma a'udhu min khubsi wal khaba'is. Eating your food, Allahumma ba'idana fi razaqtana, and so on and so forth. Getting the car, subhanallah, and so on and so forth, the du'a. Leaving the house, bismillah, tawakkaltu Allah. There are du'as after du'as that the Prophet had taught. But when it was asked by the companions to Aisha radiallahu anha, which dua did the Prophet say the most? Now think about this. For the prime time, what's the Super Bowl for Muslims? Is what? Hajj. Once in your lifetime, you want to go to Hajj, inshallah. Inshallah. Alright, come on, it's free. Inshallah part is free, right? Now, once in your lifetime, when you go, you put on your ihram, you get on your mikvah, you say, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, inna alhamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk, and so on, so go. You go into dua. The scholars say there are any duas you like, you could say. But at least one authentic dua at the end of every circuit is a dua. Now think about this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet, hey, at least say this dua. Prime time for your Super Bowl, the Hajj. Now what's the dua? Rabbana Arnor, Atina give us, في الدنيا in this world, حسن of those good things, وفي الآخرة in the hereafter, حسن of those good things, وقنا عذاب النار, and save us from the hellfire. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it's okay to ask for the best in this world. There's nothing wrong to get the best in this world. And we want to strive to have the best in this world. I guarantee you, if we don't, working in a non-profit organization for more than 15 years, you need to have individuals who have financial capabilities to make things happen. Even the 10 people who were promised Jannah, 5 of those individuals were people because they gave so much. And I mean, they're righteous individuals. But they had the characteristics of giving, and they were good business individuals. So you need to have the doctors, you need to have the engineers, you need to have the teachers, and you need to have them to be the best. And all you young ones, if one thing I want you to remember, that you strive to do your best, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of the rest. You have to tell your kids to strive to be the best, and after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can take care of the rest, but you have to make dua for your children. So there's nothing wrong in asking and striving. But the question I want to ask is that when it's time for academics, if we know that our child might be struggling,